Today's Swole Fam Spotlight is from Greg. What's going on, Beaches? Welcome to the Daily Swole Podcast, episode 2675. It is Saturday, September the 2nd, and you know already that it's striated September. So I hope you're making those sick gains. I hope you're getting absolutely yoked. Let's check out Greg's post. Greg says the Swole Fam is amazing, supportive and inspirational. Everyone here is heading in the same direction with slightly different paths. That's what makes it so great. When you have a question, you get a no bullshit answer. All forms of diets, life events, tragedies, accomplishments. If you are going through something, someone here has gone through it and can offer up advice. It is rare to find people that just want to see you get better without wanting something in return. The Swole Fam improves people's lives, has saved lives, and I am proud to be a part of that fam. I could not agree more. But I will expand upon one thing. I think the Swole Fam, of course, supports one another, but we all want something in return. We want our hard work. We want our effort to pay off for ourselves. And I think that's a big piece that's missing. You need to focus on improving yourself. And when you're part of a community that are all together to improve the individual, the collective gets stronger. And you're only as strong as your weakest link. So it's important to focus on yourself, focus on your 7 pillars, improve yourself. And when you surround yourself with like-minded people that are also working to improve themselves, of course, you'll pick each other up when someone gets down, when something happens. You can relate to other life experiences like Greg was mentioning. There's so many people from so many different backgrounds, or all around the world from different levels and areas of expertise. It helps you stay focused because when people go through challenging times, for one thing, it allows you to have some more gratitude for the situation that you have relative to other people's problems. But we're not looking to feel good about ourselves because someone else is struggling, but it gives us perspective as to having gratitude for what we do have. And of course, we get information, we get guidance, and we get experience via other people's experiences and other people's trials and tribulations. So when we're sharing stories of people going through the shit, of course, we're supporting them. We also learn to have more gratitude when things do go our way and how good that we truly have it. And we get a lot of experience from people that are going through challenging times. So if we ever go through that, we have a little bit more information or context as to how we might be able to handle it. And of course, we support them, and rising tides raise all ships. So when the Swole Fam is doing better, everyone in the Swole Fam as a collective is doing better and will grow and will develop. So it's very important to share these stories. It's very, very important to be grateful for what you have. And remember, everything that you do is a product or a result of your choices. We've made good choices, we've made bad choices, but we all have choices from when it comes to what we're eating, what we choose to do in terms of doing a yoga class or exercising, just making different choices. Everything is choices. Habits are built on choices. You're making a choice, a decision to do something. And of course, we always discuss the strategies and how to make those better choices. But bottom line, either you make the better choice or you don't make the better choice, but it's your choice. And if you're making bad choices, you have to figure out why that is, because you're the only one that's to blame. So once you take responsibility and realize that your choices are going to lead you to your outcome, then you start to make better choices. You have to make better choices. And of course, the better you set yourself up for making those choices, that's how good habits and that's how consistency is formed. So thank you so much, Greg, for sharing. If you want to join Greg, myself, and the rest of the Swole Fam, take a moment, head on over to swolenormousx.com, check out the 7 pillars, check out memberships, join us today. We are fresh off an overtime segment yesterday. We had brand new edits. We had a brand new Drive Mole Gaining Uncensored. It was a great time, private live streams. We had a roundtable last week. We have another roundtable coming up this week. We have 2 a month, and we are of course, going to have another amazing accountability meeting on Monday with new releases. So don't miss out on any of that. Join the Swole fam today. If you need to surround yourself with better people, start with your community. That's pillar number one, and that's the strength of the Swole fam. Of course, we have the programs. We have hundreds of yoga classes. We have so much stuff to execute those 7 pillars, but the most important thing is the community. And all these posts, all these testimonials, all these Swole fam spotlights that we do at the beginning of every episode, they are to highlight the important things that you might be missing in your life. This is what the Swole fam does. This is what we share. This is how we grow. This is how we are successful. Not that life is easy. Not that you join the Swole fam, you automatically get results. You still have to put in the work. You still have to build those habits and make those choices. But being a part of the Swole fam will put you in a better position to execute. Not only do you have the Swole fam by your side, but you have all those tools to execute on all of your 7 pillars. So anyway, join the Swole fam, swolenormousx.com. I could sit here for hours and talk about how awesome the Swole fam is. Actually, I have sat here for hours and talked about how awesome the Swole fam is. It is episode 2675 of doing that. And we're going to do it again today. So hit that thumbs up button and let's get into today's episode 2675. The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
It's white cis men who are a part of the far right-winged ideology of fascism.
You have poor mental health.
I let my wife sleep with other men.
White shenanigans.
You don't need to virtue signal this hard.
Unvaccinated.
I'm a simp.
It's called a cuck.
Cis.
Soy bitch.
Oh!
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Full normal.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 2675 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. So what's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and you all hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. Today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everston K2, flexing on all you boosh.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
All right, come one, come all. Welcome again to Striated September. It's Swole Slut Saturday, so drop that hashtag in the comments down below. We're going to jump right into today's episode, welcoming everyone into the live stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the thumbs up button, leave us a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Share the stream because we have awesome Swole fan posts. We're going to get into some knowledge calc and some questions, of course, and we will go balls deep as always. So drop in the comments, what are you smashing today? Let's get the nut busted open and summon the Falcon. We'll give away the Swole card at the end of today's episode. Drop in the chat. What are you smashing today, beaches? Let's fucking go. Falcon. Excellent. Happy striated September, everyone. Hashtag Swole Slut Saturday. Hashtag SSS in the comments down below for a chance to win today's Swole card. And we'll give that away at the end of today's episode. Now let's get into the tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, let's go. Let's get it on. Again, yesterday's overtime segment is available now in Swole TV. The drive mo gaining was fantastic. It was fantastic yesterday. I hope you enjoyed it. It's available now for members. If you missed that bonus segment that we do every Friday, overtime, fire as always. I hope you enjoyed it. All right, we got some awesome posts here. We got our first one from Amelia showing off those nips. Let's get into it. Hi, fam. I have been going through so much life crap lately. I was terrified that I'd make excuses to not go to the gym due to these things. I was afraid that my former bad habit self would come from the grave and fuck my life up. Oof.
Wow.
Thankfully, the Daily Swole and you all kept me focused. I wonder if Papa knows how impactful and important his daily live is for us. I haven't gotten off track. I'm seeing muscle definition and I feel amazing. In the past, the days when stress has been at its strongest were the days that I'd say I'd go tomorrow. However, I'm really proud of myself because I have made the connection. The gym is my therapy. The 7 pillars are my creed. Sometimes we need something more than just weight loss motivation. As Papa says, motivation is bullshit. Go to the fucking gym even when you don't feel like it. This is why the Swole Fam has become my most favorite source of reality. We go here for no bullshit. We live our lives apart, but together. Isn't it amazing? Also, look at my sick fucking shoulder muscles. I finally see them when I flex. I was 400 plus pounds when I made my lifestyle change. This is what being consistent does for you. I'm in love with these gains and my Swole cards. And I must say, Amelia, you better go to the vet because those pythons are sick. Yow. Yow.
The little rascal has spirit.
I love it. I love how the Swole cards are just pinned to your tatters. I love it. Good for you. Good for you making those gains. Look at that shoulder definition. Look at the swole slut card and the sick fucking gains. Talk about a swole slut. Seriously, it's Swole Slut Saturday. I just scrolled up as if they're like more picture. Everyone's like, show us more. You guys are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous.
Nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
Amelia, awesome picture. Love the smile. Love the flex. Love the Swole cards. And I love the story. I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you all being here. I'm here every day, but also you are all here. And like I said, you know, you don't have to be here. I'll still be here. It would just be very lonely. It would just be very lonely. Very lonely if I was the only one here. But you all are tuning in. And of course, not everyone can catch the live stream. So this podcast is as much for people that can't make it live. Not everyone can make it live. Most people don't, of course. I get it. But you can check in after the fact and stay consistent because you know one thing is for certain, the Daily Swole will be here. Freddie writes, haven't been on the Swolecast the past few weeks due to me working on a big FEF. But clientele payments means some Swole merch. Love the Gaindolf and the Swole year, the Buzz Swole year. So those are my choices. If I ever see a My Little Pony Swole merch, it'll be a no question buy. My Little Swole Pony.
Yow.
All right. I'll think about it. I'll consider it. That'd be pretty awesome. If I did something like a Minotaur, right? Or a Centaur, whatever, like the half pony, half horse, right? Half man. I'm just like flexing. And it's like a little My Pony backside, my Swole Little Pony, my little Swony. It doesn't sound as good. Anyway, I'll consider it. I'll consider the merch. I like it. What's with you, Freddie? What's with Freddie and My Little Pony? My Little Swolicorn. Yeah, we do have the Tess Hornaday merch. We already have the Tess Hornaday merch. Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's get into a little email. So if your email is lacking, go to makeemailswoleagain.com. A lot of you get tons of spam. You get tons of promotions. There's nothing really worth looking at in your inbox. Well, time to get some knowledge cock in there. Go to makeemailswoleagain.com and I will rejuvenate your inbox. I will stretch it out and I will make it worth your while to go into that inbox. Makeemailswoleagain.com. Again, makeemailswoleagain.com. We got a response from the but it's pumpkin spice season. It's pumpkin spice season, Papa Swole. It's pumpkin spice season. Come on, stop whining. Fuck your pumpkin spice. All right, Rihanna says, I love the fuck your pumpkin spice season. That's the best part of this time of year. I recently had a caffeine hiatus and drank one good old 6-ish ounce of black coffee and finished it by noon. And I was still wound up from it after midnight, even into the wee hours of the morning, and I slept like crap. That was enough for me to realize that I'm good with a cup or two of tea that has less caffeine, and I was on the right path with eliminating that volume of caffeine. Rihanna. Well, that's a good message. That's a good message. I mean, I only have a little bit. I'm going to work out after this, so I'm kind of like winding down, but start off with less coffee. You don't need much. Don't drink it for an hour or two when you first wake up. Let your body wake up naturally. Go for a walk, get some sunlight, those types of things. And everyone has different sensitivities. And most people are overstimulated. Most people drink way too much. And of course, like anything else, the more you drink, the more you need, and the less you feel without it. So you don't want to depend on caffeine first thing in the morning. You could use it as a tool, use it as a boost, have a little bit before your workout. That all makes sense. That's fine. But at the same time, you don't want to, okay, I can't wake up, I can't function unless I have my coffee. So good for you, Rihanna. And you only learned this because you tested it. And most people don't have the stones to test it, but I can't go without it. Of course you can. Of course you can. And of course, here we have the Tainty Cam as he's readjusting and he's looking all sleepies. You sleepy, buddy? You tired? You get your naps? Get your tainty naps? So cute. So cute. The Tainty Cam. Look at that taint. I love how he's always so coy with his taint. He shows it off, but then he just kind of tucks his tail like, no, you can't see it. You can't see it. It's all for me. Oh, my tainty man. My sweet, sweet taint. All right, let's get into some knowledge. Cock, let's take a question. If you do have any questions and you want to call into the show, go to askpapaswolio.com. Call into the show, and we'll get to those questions. If you have a live question, hashtag askpapaswolio, but you can call into the show at any time. We'll take our caller, Gilson. Gilson, you're on the line.
Do I need to take creatine every day?
Do I need to take creatine every day? Yeah. Well, if you're taking it, I take it every day. I take it every day. You don't need to load. You don't need to take any fancy type of creatine. A standard micronized creatine monohydrate is totally fine. You get it from a good source. You'll be fine. But yeah, I do. You don't have to cycle it. You don't have to do any of that crazy stuff like that. You can always go off things, but it's not like you're going to go off and things are going to collapse around you. But creatine's a great supplement. You get it in red meat and such, but you're not going to get as much as when you take, 3 to 5 grams. So your lean body mass, it matters how much you take. So you start with less whenever you're doing a supplement or you're adding something. Just start with less, and you could always bump it up if you feel like it, and notice the difference, because a lot of times you'll get that initial, you don't want to take something and have a negative reaction. You want to kind of see how sensitive you are to certain things and how much you actually need, because what if you feel great benefits from taking 3 grams instead of 5? Well, then you might just be wasting if you're taking 5. So if you're taking 3 and you get great results, you take an additional 2 more and you don't really notice any difference, as if you're necessarily going to notice a big difference. Some people do. Then you're not wasting any, right? So if you're taking 3 and you get great results, 5, I don't really notice much of a difference. Then you don't necessarily have to take as much, and you can save and you can not waste extra. But you don't need to load. You don't need to take 10, 15 grams a day. But yeah, creatine is great. If you're taking it, I would take it. A lot of times I'll take it earlier in the day. I'll take it before my workouts. I forgot to take it actually earlier today, but I will take it after the show before I work out. All right, let's see. More questions. Let's get into some other questions. Instagram and live. Andrew Parry Papasolio. What are the advantages of whey versus plant-based protein drinks? Well, I would never take a plant-based protein drink. That makes me kind of throw up in my mouth a little bit. If you're getting a whey protein, if you actually need it, but I would go for a grass-fed whey protein. If they're unprocessed, usually it's going to be concentrate, but there are brands out there that I don't have any personal issues with, and they're third-party tested. And yes, you're going to pay more if it's organic, and if it's grass-fed whey from Jersey cows, it's A2 casein, I believe. So you're not every supplement. Sometimes they'll have heavy metals if they're ultra-processed. So a lot of times these companies will, if in the pursuit of producing a higher quality, They will not over process it, and not so they can make an isolate. But if it's very clean, it might not cause any issues for you. Some people prefer isolate. I've mentioned isolate in the past, but upon further experimentation, less processing is probably a better idea, which is why a lot of these companies don't, because additional processing can denature the protein further. And, the more processing, usually the less other things might get into your protein, because they've done a lot of tests in the past and they found a lot of heavy metals with ultra processed proteins, and these ones you'll find at GNC or mass produced that don't have the highest quality standards. But any protein that's usually third party tested, which means they send it out, they send samples to a separate company that doesn't have any incentive other than doing high quality testing in order to show like, hey, this company also tested the products and didn't find A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. And it was held to a higher standard than just the company saying, well, it's good. Kind of like how Pfizer or these companies will put out experimental gene therapy and be like, no, it's good. We said it was. We did the studies on it that they forge and they manipulate. So anyway, third-party testing is always a good idea. But of course, if you get a product that's third-party tested, it's going to cost more because it costs the supplier more. So the advantages, I mean, in my opinion, there's no advantage to anything plant protein based. A lot of that is incomplete proteins or less bioavailable, and you're getting a lot of other things, potentially like glyphosate and atrazine and other things. If you're trying to get a quality protein source, I would recommend getting it from animal products. Those are just my opinions and experience. That's right, Barrett. Well, that's just science. That's just science. Young people, a lot of people are dropping dead because of climate change.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Didn't you know it's climate change? Didn't you guys know that? Aren't you paying attention?
How dare you?
Aren't you paying attention? Tiff, hey, Pop, I heard creatine can cause kidney stones. Is this true? I mean, I think a lot of things can cause kidney stones. Vegetables and a lot of oxalates can cause phytic acid, things like that can cause kidney stones. So I think it depends on what people's predispositions are and what your overall nutrition and intake is like. I've never had any issues with that. And I would look much more into nutritional habits for that. But I haven't heard anything directly about creatine causing it. A lot of times when you have issues, it's hard to isolate what the problem is. So someone will, let's say, have a shitty diet, not get quality sleep, be eating a lot of vegetables or plant-based foods that are high in oxalates that can lead to these types of things, and then take creatine, and then, they get kidney stones. So again, this is where we actually can discuss correlation and causation. Just because you are taking creatine doesn't mean that's what caused it. But if you already have issues or things leading down that pathway, it might not help. I've never had any personal issues with that. Let's see. Don't forget, anything you're consuming orally is getting processed by your body. So things that you consume, or if you're taking additional supplements or pills or medications, right? So you think about all these different variables. Then you have the foods that you're eating. How are they interacting with medications? How are they interacting with supplements? Because you might be eating certain foods, taking a supplement, like you might be taking a calcium supplement or something like that. But then some of the other foods that you're eating is actually binding to that calcium and not absorbing well. So it really depends on what you're combining with what you're taking. So there's a lot of stuff like that. Like if you're taking probiotics and then taking antibiotics, well, it's going to cancel itself out in many ways. Uncle John, Papa, a topic that comes up here often is trying new things. I've taken it to heart and started making YouTube shorts. I'm clumsy and awkward, but I'm doing it anyway. I appreciate your mindset. Well, there you go. Good for you. Good for you. Get out of your comfort zone. And understand that you're clumsy and awkward. You're making YouTube shorts. I mean, like the videos. Yeah, I mean, it's great the way social media is now, because you make the same type of vertical content and it can be used on every platform. You go back 5 or 6 years, you had to make a YouTube video horizontal. Then you had to do a square 1080 by 1080 Instagram picture. And then you had to do, TikTok. And then it was 1920 by 1080. And then you had every single platform, you had to do a different type of video. So now that all of them are trying to optimize for the same thing and they're battling for your attention, it's great that you can make one type of video vertical, and I could post it on Instagram Reels, I could post it on TikTok, I could post it on YouTube Shorts, I could post it on Twitter. But yeah, clumsy and awkward, understand that Everyone has their strengths. Some people like to write, some people like to talk, some people like to do videos, but you'll also get better at that. You're going to get clumsy and awkward. One of the best ways to get better at recording video is to edit your own videos. That's a learning curve. It's a steep learning curve. But when you realize what kind of footage you need to edit to get the result in a certain way, you start filming better. So I learned how to edit, and I edited all my videos for the first few years. And then you know what you want, then you know what you're trying to produce. It helps you learn how to shoot. Because when you go to edit a video and you're like, oh, I want it to look this way. Oh, I should have gotten this angle, or I should have taken the video in that way. Then you know next time when you're filming, you know what you need to be filming and what kind of B-roll or angles you need so that you have what you need when you're editing. Editing is everything. Editing makes all the difference. And knowing how to do both gets you better at filming, and because then you see the end result. You see the end result, and you can adjust how you film or what you do in order for you to get the result that you want. So good for you. Yeah. One of the reasons why people don't create their own content or they're nervous doing it is because if you're working for someone else, or you're representing a different company, or you're doing a speech or a presentation in front of something at your work or things like that, it kind of offsets a responsibility. It's not all you. You're representing someone else. You're representing someone else. When you do your own content, you are representing you. So people that like the videos or dislike the videos, a lot of times the individual will take it upon themselves and internalize it as a judgment on who you are or whether or not you are good or worthy or valuable. So bottom line, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't obsess with the comments. And the challenge at the beginning is you want to engage with your audience. You want to answer a lot of questions. You want to interact a lot. At the same time, you don't want to let that distract you from creating the content that you enjoy making. So it's very easy, I will say, to get sucked into, hey, let me do a video like this because it'll get me more views versus the videos you want to film. And a lot of people, the reason why you have YouTubers or TikTok or whatever you do, people that create content that get, quote, burnt out, it's because they don't pay attention and they navigate too much towards what gets them more views. And they don't realize it until they're too far off their original path that they don't like what they're doing. So for example, if you're leaving a port, if you're sailing a boat from England, you're 1 degree off, it's not going to be a big deal for the beginning of the trip, but at the end, you're going to be thousands of miles off course. That 1 degree really expands towards the end. So if you're 1 degree to the south, you might end up in Florida. You're 1 degree to the north, you might end up in North Carolina or so forth. So if you focus on doing what you enjoy doing, and of course, you want to make things that people enjoy, but if you bias towards, okay, this is how I like to create content, this is what I want to do, this is my niche, this is how I like doing things, and you focus on that, then you'll be consistent. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, it's going to be very much more laborious, and you're going to be going against the grain, and you're not going to be satisfied. So you want to, if you're creating something for yourself and you're making content for yourself, then do it for the right reasons. Don't just make things that other people enjoy. You want them to enjoy it, but not at the expense of your purpose and how you enjoy executing. De La Junior. Papa Swolio working more overtime next week. Needless to say, I'm exhausted. Summer here in Arizona also doesn't help. I wanted to say that this show keeps me focused when I'm ready to just quit, but I don't. Most people quit. This is when people quit. This is when people quit, but not you. That's a great Swole card too. And that was a great signature series. This is when people quit. Anytime you feel that struggle, anytime you feel that friction, just remember, this is when people quit. Most people will quit then and just don't. All right, Ollie, Mr. Snoop, Papa Swole, yo man, happy Saturday. Been lifting hella lately, and I started taking creatine. I'm on a good balanced diet. All right, that's not a question, that's a statement, but good for you. Yow. Good for you. Good for you. All right, this is from Moon Adam. Well, that's a blurry. Moon Adam 05. How can I up my bench to over 300 pounds? Proper nutrition, proper training, proper volume. I mean, I don't bench over 300 pounds. Well, I guess it depends on what I'm doing. How can I? Proper program design. You know, strength is important, but not at the expense. Like, it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. Why do you want your bench over 300? Just wondering. A lot of people have no fucking idea. They just pick a number. 300 is a very arbitrary number. Why? Because you want to? Okay, well, why? Is that enough? Do you want to build more muscle? Well, the weight's not everything when it comes to building muscle. It's strength, but it's also the volume. It's also the overload, the progressive overload. So a couple things that I could tell you: make sure you have excellent form. Watch powerlifting videos, watch strength training videos, get videos of your own form from the side. Make sure your form is on point. There's a lot of different strategies. Make sure you're also developing your accessory muscles, anterior deltoid, your posterior deltoid supportive muscles, middle and lower traps, your triceps and things like that. And make sure that your programming revolves around that. If that's your goal for whatever reason, then you need to make sure that you're not exhausting yourself. You're not doing too much volume, and make sure that your programming for the entirety of your programming focuses on that. We talk a lot about how do you bring up weaker body parts, or Papa Swolio, I need to train more, focus on this, X, Y, and Z. Then don't train it last in your workout. Don't do 2 days in a row of whatever it is. And then on the next day, when you've not recovered that well, like if you're not fully recovered, you're training 3 days or 4 days in a row, the body part that you're trying to bring up the most and focus on the most, give yourself a recovery day in between, do some yoga. That way you're more systemically recovered for the body part that you're trying to train, or prioritize that first in a workout. If you're trying to bring up your calves or forearms or chest, it's like, don't train that after you've blasted the rest of your body and you're really fatigued and you don't have much less to give. Make sure that you're focusing on the body parts when you're most recovered, most rested. Just some additional thoughts. Mossy Gianni, Papa Swolio, once I feel the burning sensation, should I keep going until failure? Cheers. You might want to go to a doctor to get that checked out, because it sounds like you may have a STD. Okie dokie.
Because.
Excellent. Probably need some antibiotics there. Pobrecito. Once I feel the burning sensation, should I keep going till failure? Well, the burning sensation is just your body kind of getting towards its limit. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think training to and or very close to failure is very important. It's progressive overload. It's stimulating reps, and really the repetitions that are going to stimulate your body to need to adapt is going to be the last 4 or 5 repetitions. So if you're stopping when you have a few repetitions, they call that RIR, reps in reserve. If you have like 3 more and you're stopping early, chances are you don't have 3 more. Chances are you have 4 or 5 or 6 more. So a lot of people, they think they're stopping when they have 2 or 3 reps left in reserve, right? That's burning a lot. They have a couple more, but they stop. Most people don't train anywhere close to failure, so they technically have probably 4 or 5 more, so they're missing out on all of those stimulating reps. So they're doing a lot of junk volume, doing more sets, not getting results because they're actually not getting to that point. So it's one thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with reps in reserve, or, doing it when you might have 1 more. Depends on the exercise. Depends on if you have a spotter or what situation you're in. Maybe you can't train to absolute failure because you don't have the proper things set up where if you do, you can get hurt or whatever it is. Don't do that, right? So absolute failure is very hard to achieve when you're on your own doing free weights. So you might have to train until you have maybe 1 rep in reserve. You can't get forced reps or things of that sort. So you might want to do a little bit more volume. You might want to do an additional set because those last stimulating reps are harder to achieve with 1 complete set. So 1 set is definitely enough. Not necessarily achievable for everyone because that absolute failure is hard to achieve. So a lot of people might benefit from doing 2 sets for an exercise, but the overall volume should still not be excessive because then recovery is going to be much more challenging. So it depends. But failure and progressive overload is very important. One Tash Tamirov, how to gain weight without spending a lot of money. Well, most people that don't have a lot of money are fat as fuck, so you don't have to try too hard. Just go to McDonald's.
Matt Damon.
I'm going to clarify your question so it makes sense. How do you build muscle without spending a lot of money? Well, things cost money in this world. So get another job, work harder, work overtime, start side hustles, whatever you have to do. Stop spending money on dumb shit and focus on getting quality proteins, chicken, steak, fish, whatever you can get, grass-fed when it's possible, right? So I know not everyone has access to the same things, but still protein's protein that's going to cost you the most. especially animal proteins. Don't buy that plant shit. Just don't. It's not going to be that beneficial for you. So it's going to cost you money. In other words, make better choices with the money that you have and build your skills so you can afford more things. And a lot of people don't want to go to trade school. You don't have to go to college to make money. Really, what people should be doing today is just becoming an electrician, a plumber, HVAC, like learn a skill, learn a trade, and you won't be in much debt if you do a trade school. It might get covered X, Y, and Z. It'll be a small fraction and you'll be in the positive very soon. Like, learn things that will make you money. Okay. PW Ducks. Papa Swolio, do ice baths actually help with fat loss? Obviously with the calorie deficit diet too. Well, you don't need much of a caloric deficit. Do they actually help with fat loss? Maybe. I don't know what the latest technical research is on what brown fat or adipose tissue. I mean, they're great. I don't do the ice baths for fat loss. How much it actually would affect fat loss and how long do you have to do it for? I don't know. But I do it for inflammation, and even more so than that, I do it for how I feel. I feel great when I do them. I just feel good. So we've talked about how a lot of studies and, people like Andrew Huberman always make sure to mention that you shouldn't really ice bath after you do strength training or hypertrophy training, which is a bummer because that's like that would feel great, right? You fucking work out hard, heavy fucking workout, and then you ice. But in reality, your body is adapting to stress. So if you're interrupting that stress cycle, you're not going to rebuild in the same manner. So when you produce a stimulus or you subject your body to a stress or a stimulus, the pathway of inflammation is what will lead your body to adapting to that for the future. So you're bigger and stronger. And if you interrupt that by icing right away, it will negatively affect that cycle, that pathway. So I like doing it before I train, either in the morning or whatever it is, like even just before I work out, I'll plunge and then I'll start warming up, which is great because it cools me off. It allows me, my strength is better. My joints feel great. I have more energy. It's a natural boost. So I don't have to if I'm training in the afternoon, I don't have to suck down caffeine later in the day. It just gets me going. So personally, I would not focus on ice baths. The benefit of fat loss is not really that important to me when it comes to ice baths. There's many other benefits that I like. Dylan, thoughts on reverse pyramid training? You mean dropping the weight? Thoughts on reverse pyramid training? I'm doing maximum swole and feel like I could drop the weight and get a few more reps in. That's not reverse pyramid training. You just talk about doing a drop set. Well, you can always drop the weight and do more reps. Like if you're doing 225 on a bench and you take all the weight off, you can do more, but that's not creating the overload or the stimulus that's going to get you stronger and bigger. That's just creating more damage. So it's possible. I mean, drop sets, I've done many drop sets in my life. It's not that drop sets are bad. Sometimes the damage or the pump or the stress could benefit you in terms of building more muscle. You can play around with it, but if you're focusing on getting the most out of the set that you're doing, you might be better off doing another set. So maximum swole, a lot of times it says one set, but you can always do a second set and experiment. The whole point is you want to start with one set, and long term, if you feel like you need another, you can add one more set. So just understand, let's say you're doing 4 exercises. Let's say you're doing a leg workout or a chest workout, whatever it is, but you're doing 4 exercises, 4 sets. Let's say for one body part. So if you increase it and go from 4 all-out sets to 5 all-out sets, that's a 25% increase in volume. That's a 25% increase in volume. So it might not seem like a lot, 4 to 5. But if you think about it from a mathematical standpoint, that's a 25% increase. Everyone would love a 25% raise in terms of your finances, right? That'd be awesome. People are like, I wish my dick was 25% bigger. I wish I was 25% taller. 25% is a big difference. Going up in weight is 25% is a big difference. 25% is a lot. You're investment portfolio or your house value goes up 25%. That's massive, right? So 25% volume increase is a lot. So you need to understand that any more volume, and this is logically, it's not an exact science of like, okay, if you do one more, you're not getting results. So it's not like, hey, I do 4 sets. Now I'm doing 5. Nope, too much. Now you're wasting your time. But every little bit that you do more than required is going to make it more challenging for you to recover, not just locally with the muscles, but systemically. So you have to gauge that for yourself. So let's say you're doing chest and you really want to work on incline. You want to work on your upper chest areas, your clavicular fibers. Maybe you do 2 sets or 2 different exercises for incline. So you bias that area, you put more volume in that region versus doing dips or versus doing flat or something like that. So if anything, just add an additional set, but just understand that you're going to be, it's going to eat into your recovery. I'm not saying that it won't be possible, but just keep that in mind. So if you're extending the set versus adding one more, you start with less and then you only add as much as you need. So you might do 4 sets. And this is something that I'm playing around with. So what I started doing was I started trying 2 sets for different exercises. But that's also, in some instances, a doubling of my volume, going from 4 sets to 8 sets. I'm a lot more sore and I was a lot more fatigued and I'm not recovering as quickly because I'm a lot more fucking banged up from doing 8 sets. That's double the volume. 6 sets would be a 50% increase. So in other words, start with maybe 1 set, 2 sets, and find that sweet spot. So for me, it's anywhere between 4 and 8 sets. I do like a little bit more than 4, but 8 starts to be a little bit much. My recovery, I just feel more worn down. I can't train as frequently. I'm feeling it. So backing off, and then probably what I'm going to do is go back to 6 and see how that feels and see if I could be more consistent long-term with 6. And then you find that sweet spot. So there's nothing wrong with doing a drop set. It just, why not just rest, do 2, 3, 4 minutes of rest and then hit another set rather than just fatigue yourself. So if you already did what you could do for that weight for that set, the set's done. If you're only doing one all-out set, you want to cause as much damage as possible. There's different strategies. So in other words, a lot of this is you have to try it, see what works for you. If you do it, you like it, you enjoy it, there is that enjoyment factor that if you enjoy it more and you feel better when you do it, you're more likely to be consistent with it. So if you're only doing 1 set for chest and you're getting all ready to warm up to work out and you do 1 set, whether or not that works, like for me, that's not enough for me. I want to do more because I enjoy lifting. I don't want to just get all ready and just do 1 set and be like, okay, that's it. I love to train. So I'm trying to organize and I have to make sure I don't do too much because my tendency would be to lift more and lift more. I don't want to get too fatigued. I want to get results, but I don't want to do too little. So you also, if you can factor in what you enjoy or what you prefer more with your training style that still gets you results, you're going to be more consistent with that. So if you enjoy drop sets and it works for you, it doesn't matter what I say. I'm just giving you some additional guidance there. You could do a drop set, but it's going to negatively affect or can possibly negatively affect your ability to perform highly on future sets, or might just be extra fatigue without the benefit, without the stimulation. Andrew, what guidelines should I use to determine the length of my rest between sets? The more you rest, the more you're going to be recovered. So the more intensely you're training, the heavier you're going, and the more to failure you're going, you need more recovery. So if you're training with high intensity, at least like probably 2 or 3 minutes minimum. Wendy Popeye King. What do you do for fun to chill, laugh? One thing that I do all the time is laugh. Mama Solia and I are laughing like all the time. That's like we're just laughing all the time. So what I do for fun, I live. I have fun. I have fun lifting. I have fun when I'm filming content. I'm playing with the dogs. I'm taking care of shit. Like, that's what I do. I enjoy what I do. So people ask, like, what do you do for fun? What do you do aside from this? I enjoy doing this, which is why I built my business around doing this type of stuff, because I enjoy doing it. It doesn't mean that every day, every moment, I love every last thing. Like, I don't enjoy setting up the podcast and the stream keys and shit like that. There's shit that I don't enjoy inherently, but I enjoy doing it once I'm doing it. So anyway, people always ask, like, as if I have to do this. Like, what do you do aside from that? People want to hear people want to hear something, right? People want to hear, what do you do for fun? Like, you must be, you're doing this all the time. They want to hear, like, I can do other things, right? Papa, so you do other things, right? You don't just like lift weights and take care of yourself and do stuff. Like, tell me you do something else so I can feel better about the things that like. That's why I do this. If I'm going to create my own brand and business, I did it around things I enjoy doing, so it doesn't feel like I'm working. It took a long time for me to feel like I was actually accomplishing something, because if I enjoy what I'm doing, I'm lifting, I'm training, it's like I just don't feel like I'm doing anything because I'm doing the things I enjoy. So it's harder to feel like accomplished. It's harder to feel like I did something because I just did stuff I enjoy. Of course, logically I know that I'm doing stuff, but I enjoy doing this. I'm laughing and shooting the shit and hitting Matt Damon soundboards. Damon. Someone says something stupid, I get to make fun of them. It's great. One more question is, Ollie, is powerlifting good and necessary? If you want it, I mean, necessary? What is necessary? I personally don't powerlift. I regularly lift. Also, is it key and important to lift heavy and hard? Should I be going to failure every set? Depends on your goals, volume. I mean, you can go to failure or try to go to failure on every set, but you're not going to do a lot of sets. So that's what I was just talking about. So if you're going really hard towards absolute failure, you're going to do less volume because you're not going to be able to do a lot of volume with high intensity. You're going to cause too much damage. So people that do a lot of volume, there's a big argument or debate on TikTok. I just see a lot of videos pop up like arguing about high volume and low volume. They both work. So again, if you're trying to get those stimulating reps, like one set all out to absolute failure, you got that stimulation with the last 4 or 5 repetitions. But if you're doing more volume and you're leaving a couple reps in the tank, maybe you're only getting 1 or 2 of those stimulating reps at the end, but you're stopping a little early. By doing 3 or 4 or 5 more sets, you might be getting those stimulating reps over time, but you're doing more volume. It's going to negatively affect recovery. It's going to be more challenging. A lot of people that do high volume could do lesser volume and get more results, but it depends. There's a lot of different ways to get results. It's really about progressive overload and are you able to recover enough? The problem with higher volume is that very quickly people will realize that it's hard to recover. And a lot of people plateau and they do a lot of volume. The reason is because you're not really recovering from one workout to the next. You'd be better off training harder for less volume and less time. Time is relative with rest periods, but less volume, more intensity, and greater recoverability. So you're not beating a dead horse as much. You're able to recover more, and then you'll get more progress. And if you do the maximum swole and you do like one set all out, a lot of you will say in the chat, like if you haven't done this kind of stuff before, you will know like every time you come back to train, you're getting stronger. You're getting more reps and more. It's like fucking ridiculous. Like I got, you're going from 5 reps the last time you did it to 6 reps to 7 reps. And you're going up 5 pounds. Like what the fuck? All of a sudden, because you're recovering finally. Holly, I remember in 2018 when you were just starting, 2016. And it was just you in a room or outside with the mic. Love those days. 2016 maybe. You mean with the podcast? The first few months. I remember the first few months of 2016 with the Daily Swole. It was 12 noon every day, and I was doing it on the porch. And then it went inside because it got to be like May or June, and I was just dripping in sweat. 12 noon in the summer in Florida, the worst time. The absolute worst time to have a podcast. I was just sweating, dripping. I'm like, all right, we have to go inside now. It was too much. All right, time. Fam, balls deep time.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That's deep.
All right. Let's see what we got. Let's scrape the bottom of the barrel. Let's see what we got here. It's going to be a hot mess. We all know that. Ooh. Oh. All right, let's do, fam, pick a number 1, 2, or 3. Let's see how many we can get into. We'll get into a couple of these. 1, 2, or 3. I'll start you guys out. This one's called Teacher. And the question on TikTok says, Rob or Robbie, would you be able to make a video of when you first started teaching, how you asked your kids to respect you as a non-binary person, etc.? Oh, God. Why do you have to be going after kids, man? Teachers. Jesus Christ.
Cool. My name is Teacher Roby. I am non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. For example, they are a great art teacher. They taught us how to draw stitch. Many of you already know that about me. Pronouns are super important for myself, for you. It's important that we get it right every single time. If you ever make a mistake, I'll just politely correct you. And you should also be making sure that you use those correct pronouns. If you have questions about that, we can talk about it offline, all right?
Oh my God, no, it's not important at all. It's only important to you. Talk about, I want all the attention, say what I want you to say because it makes me feel important. I got a soundboard for you, Robbie,
Go fuck yourself.
Robbie, go fuck yourself. All right, leave the kids alone. My God, when I have kids, if anyone ever tries to, that will be a dark day for them. That'll be a dark fucking day. Absolutely. If you think you're more than one person, you are mentally ill. And again, bring back the buildings with the rooms with the padded walls. Yeah, it's even worse than that, right? Jay Nightwing says it's teaching students to misunderstand proper English. You're literally teaching kids like, hey, here's how to not speak English properly. All right, we got some numbers. Let's go with Dylan S, number 2. Dylan says number 2. This one's titled, God damn it, Dylan, you son of a bitch. This one is just titled Surprise. It's titled Surprise. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, Dylan. By the way, if you're new to the podcast, we dogpile. So whoever chooses the video just gets shamed on. So Dylan, this is Dylan's fault. So blame Dylan for this one. It's called Surprise.
Listen, it is a fact that thin people are treated better.
I will never understand the insistence by some people to deny that thin privilege exists.
Holy shit!
Do you just gotta be a bigger victim than everybody around you or something? Are you afraid that acknowledging it will mean that humanity is shit? Because humanity is shit. I have been both young and thin and young and fat, and I have also been old and fat. I have seen it from all the sides.
What is happening here?
And there is
what is
definitely
that?
a difference in how people treat fat people. And you can cry about how people are always telling you to eat a hamburger, but it doesn't even come close to the abuse that fat people take.
What the fuck are you talking about? God damn it, Dylan.
Shame.
Fuck you.
Shame. Shame.
God damn it, Dylan. Dylan. Can someone put Dylan in timeout? We need some YouTube mods just to like flag, right? You can do a timeout, right? Nah, don't do it. Don't do it. Let's just do like a psychological timeout. So Dylan gets that. I wish I could put like a little emoji, like a little dunce cap on Dylan. So Dylan can go sit in the corner. Yeah, sit in the corner. Sit in the proverbial corner. All right. But it's respect. Like everyone's like 2. Oh man, go in the corner. There's no right answer. So you know you're going to the corner. By voting, you're going to the corner. So this is pretty much like, you like the abuse. Everyone's like, yeah. Punish me, daddy. Punish me, daddy. All right. Go to the corner of shame. Elizabeth says the corner of shame.
So per is a neo-pronoun that comes from the word person, which is why I really like him.
God damn it, Dylan. All right. Pick a number 1 or 2. 1 or 2.
What's in the box?
Try to pick the least stinky piece of poop. Number 1 or number 2. Number 1.
There's tiny tuck, typical tuck, total tuck, and the tyrannical tuck.
Number 1 or number 2. Let's go with who we got. Let's let those rankings come in. That was savage. That was savage. In the meantime, let's see. What's this one? Jesus Christ. All right. Let's go with Kika. Kika, number 1. Number 1. All right, a little golf clap. All right, number 1. Let's go. Men cannot birth babies. Men cannot birth babies. Sounds pretty based. Sounds pretty.
Michaela, honey, first off, why are you following us? Second off.
Oh God. Fucking Jesus fucking Christ. This TikTok is what? At Trans Parenthood? Holy fucking shit. There's a lot to unpack here. So this person's responding to a post that said men cannot birth babies. Straight fact. We're not playing into the delusions. I'm a man. I have a penis. I cannot piss out a baby. I cannot shit out a baby. Although I've had poops. I've had poops where I feel like I can understand what birth is like. Let's just put it that way. It gives me some perspective. I've had Taco Bell before. I understand what it's like to have an exorcism. But I didn't want to hold it after it came. I didn't like, oh, you're so cute. No.
The way you should structure that sentence is not all men.
No men. No men. Never has a man given birth. Hold on a second. Never has a man given birth.
My name's Forrest Gump.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate your support. Maybe that was slow enough. Never in the history of humanity has a baby come out of a pee-pee. I mean, a sperm comes out, but not a full-blown gestated human being. Silly to say that.
Can give birth.
Cisgender
men can give birth.
Hold on.
Not all men can give birth.
No men.
Cisgender men are incapable of giving birth.
Men cannot give
birth. They do
birth.
not have a female reproductive system.
Men cannot give birth.
Transgender men
Women
have female reproductive systems.
Women.
Trans men are real men.
Trans men are women.
If they choose to, can.
Yeah, they choose. This is what it sounds like to not have a grasp of reality. Women can give birth, men cannot. A pee-pee goes into a vajiji hole and makes a baby. You can call yourself a fish, you're still a woman. You can call yourself whatever you want. It doesn't change what you are. We all on the same page? Cool.
They can give birth. So can transmasculine, non-binary people.
We choose truth over fact.
Transmasculine, non-binary people. Women? Anyone that's giving birth, you can call someone a transformational train stop coffee mug fish. Well, if they're having a child, it's a woman. It's like a woman being, her name is Angela or Samantha or Pietra. It's still a woman. Like the name or the title you give it, it can think it's a, I don't know. It can think it's a tree. You can think you're a tree. If you're having a baby, you're a female human. Wow.
They so choose.
Wait, look at the background. Look at the whatever in the background with the I don't know, aquamarine hair. When he's like, if they so choose, and she's in the background like, yeah. Watch this. It's so funny. Just like subtle, like, yeah.
So can transmasculine, non-binary people, if they so choose.
Yeah.
So, being that you are following us, you obviously know who we are, the fact that I am a trans man, that I am a Seahorse dad, and
what?
You're trying to nullify trans man, that I am a Seahorse dad.
What?
The fact that I am a trans man, that I am a Seahorse dad.
What? You're a seahorse dad? Isn't that because like seahorses, like male, like they're called, isn't a seahorse holds the babies or something like that? It's like the weird, okay.
Who we are, the fact that I am a trans man, that I am a Seahorse dad, and you're trying to nullify my existence because that makes you feel validated?
Isn't it because male seahorses can or they do. They're the ones that give birth or something. There's something like that with seahorses. Like I'm not a seahorse thing. That's the first time I've heard that. And like, I'm a seahorse. Fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Get off the screen. Get off the screen. Get off the screen.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Whoa, that was intense. That was intense. Hooey. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Okay, this is called There Is Nothing Wrong with Wanting to Be Thinner. All right, so this is in response to a video that says there's nothing wrong with wanting to be thinner. There's nothing wrong with wanting things. There's nothing wrong with wanting a Lamborghini. I mean, it's irrational if you're just working at Walgreens or Publix or Walmart or something. You're like, I want a Lamborghini. It's like, cool, you can say things like, what are you doing to achieve it? So you can want things. It's okay to want things. It's okay to want to be healthier. What are your actions? Anyway, let's just...
People on this app don't like to talk about it, or at least lots of people don't like to talk about it, but we're gonna talk about it today, okay? If you're scared of being fat, you're fat phobic. It's in the fuck...
I'm not scared of being fat. Do you know why? It's because I have good habits and I take care of myself. So there's no fear there of being fat. You know why? Because I won't be. I eat real food. I exercise. I get sunlight. I get sleep. I'm not going to be fat. So there's that. If you're afraid of, like, you're afraid, that's a weird, irrational thing. But you're making up the fat phobia thing. People just don't like you because your voice is abrasive and you have nothing of value to say. That's why.
Definition, I'm sorry to tell you. Just kidding. I'm not fucking sorry. For like the first like 20 years of my life, my biggest fucking fear was gaining weight.
That sounds pretty fucked up. You didn't need to have that fear if you just took care of yourself or if you ate real food. Maybe your parents just gave you cereal and bread and McDonald's all the time. Okay, so project your insecurities to everyone, why don't you?
Okay, I spent so many years of my life freaking out over, you know, gaining weight or not fitting in the same pair of pants or whatever. And anytime I would try and work out to be healthy,
there's no quotes there. You exercise and you'll be healthier. Oh, what happened? You didn't do it right and you failed and you didn't like it?
It was always because I wanted to lose weight.
Okay. Yeah, it's not healthy to be obese. So there's that.
Weight loss culture, ED culture, diet culture, all of it is rooted in fat phobia.
It's not.
Because our country is rooted in fat phobia. And if people aren't ready for this conversation,
that's not an
then
argument.
Too bad.
That's not an argument. All this is based in fat phobia because this country is written in fat phobia. You're just saying things. You're just saying that you don't have discipline. You're saying you don't want to take care of yourself and you're angry because, I don't know, your parents didn't hug you. You're not happy with who you are. You're scared. You don't have a family. You don't have a relationship. You're deep into student loan debt with your gender studies degree. And you're angry at, I don't know, the social programming and feminism from which this stuff is actually fucking rooted from. You're upset. You're upset that all this boss bitch shit is leading women to be miserable when they're older. Oh, well. Oh, well. Yikes. Abrasive. Abrasive. That's not helping. The voice isn't helping. The voice isn't helping. All right, let's get into the Swole card. Let's give away the Swole card. And then what we'll do is we will get into a throwback. So here we go. Swole Slut time. Swole Slut card.
What's in the box?
Everything's rooted in something. She's rooted in pinkies. You son of a bitch. Swole slut. Swole slut. Swole slut. Swole slut. We got a winner in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. It's Melissa. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Amelia is definitely a swole slut. She actually had a swole slut card on her tatters. Melissa, congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, swole card 2675 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations. Congratulaciones. You're very welcome. Congratulations, Melissa. Everyone say congratulations, Melissa. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We got a throwback in just a few minutes, so take a look at this taint. Take a look at that taint. Look at that taint. And the church, of course. Oh, it's gonna make it's gonna make all these little videos. It's the churchy. Aww. What else we got? We got a little Papa Swolio action. I love it. I love it. I love it. That was cute. I wanted to see if those little boomerang videos would play. And they did. And they did. Churchy's so cute. She's so cute. Look at that. Look at the Churchy. And of course, Papa Swolio. Yeah. That's my beach. It's like a little boomerang thing you do on your iPhone. Little Papa Swolio action.
Hadouken! Hadouken! Hadouken!
All right, excellent. Now it's time for a little throwback. Throwback time dishes.
Can we stop using gendered compliments like as a people? Because first of all, that's a term used by and for Black women.
I'll say whatever I want, sis.
You gonna cry about it?
Someone was responding to her saying, nice sis, keep at it. And now she's upset.
Second of all, I am not a female person. I don't give a single fuck what I look like to you.
You're still a female. You're still a woman. You're a woman. You look like a chick.
And I'm really sick of getting comments that say, you go girl, nice job sis. Like, I don't care if they're compliments. They misgender me and they make me feel bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's no one's responsibility to make you feel good. Welcome to life.
When you want to compliment someone, don't add a gendered thing, especially when in their profile, their pronouns are listed.
People can list pronouns all they want. no one's under any obligation to use them. What's your name? I'll use the name. And if you look like a female, I'll call you a female. If you're not a female, well, then you shouldn't look like a female then if you don't want to be called a female. Get over it. Get over it. Narcissist. Fucking crazy. You know, girls say bro all the time. Girls say bro all the time. Even like girls, they're talking to a girl group like, hey, you guys want to, it's just a plural, like Spanish, right? You have male and female. If you're talking about a group of people, it's like the masculine default. It's like, hey, you guys, girls all the time are like, bro. It's just a fucking phrase. No one cares. No one cares what you want to be called, aside from your name. No one cares about your feelings. No one should care about your feelings. It's no one's responsibility if they say something, oh, your feelings, oh, that's a you problem. There are a lot of things out there. You can get offended by everything. And we know today with microaggressions, people want to get offended. They're begging to get offended. So I think what's happening is a lot of these people that are so desperate, they're saying things and going more and more off the deep end because they know it will offend or trigger people, because people with logic and common sense are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So they do that so they can continue to play the victim. They have to keep on pushing it and pushing it and pushing it to get a rise out of people. It's like when you get trolled in the comments or something like that. You get a video, you get someone talking shit. What are they trying to do? They're trying to get a rise out of you. So they keep on saying more and more ridiculous shit. That way they can play the victim. It's silly. Okay, fam, thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. We got Ask Papa Swole live, so go to askpapaswole.com, submit your questions, join the fam, swolenormousx.com. Go watch yesterday's Overtime in Swole TV if you missed it, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't left and they so mad, it's like...
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.